fall into the trap of Valentine's candy sales, in which they sadly buy discounted candy after the holiday, subsequently binging out on it, and then they end up decreasing their chances of attracting a Valentine for the next year.
It always feels like you have to outdo last year's expectations. If you've had a great Valentine's Day in the past, you're obviously going to want your significant other to do it better this year.
There are so many gender binary roles that are tied up in this whole entire holiday. Like, a girl's expected to try and be as sexy as she can, and a guy's expected to empty his pockets, and I don't see why we're trying to keep feeding into that stereotypes when not everyone can pull that off all the time.
Valentine's Day creates an environment full of awkwardness and bullying in grade school. No one wants to be at a Valentine's party when you're in the 3rd grade.
It also creates awkward expectations for new relationships. Usually for couples, Valentine's Day is something they look forward to, but for every new couple, it could literally be their worst nightmare, because you obviously don't want to bring it up to the significant other, because what if they don't have the same expectations? That definitely could be pretty awkward.
Valentine's Day creates a huge influx of impregnation too. Have you ever noticed how many people are born in November? It's 9 months after Valentine's Day, and that's saying something. We got some overpopulation problems because of this. We got more mouths to feed. We got more welfare to fund. We have a lot of stuff to deal with, people. Calm down.
Having to guess your significant other's expectations of how much to spend on gifts. You don't want to be the cheaper one of the two, but if you go overboard, then the other person feels awkward, which makes you feel awkward.
Love should not be about buying red roses and pink things from the supermarket. This just feeds to the capitalist and materialistic aspect of Valentine's.
Does anybody actually know why we're celebrating Valentine's Day? I didn't, but then I took the liberty of Googling it, and let me tell you, it's not very sexy. St. Valentine's, one of the theories, is that he performed secret marriages because some emperor thought that single soldiers did a better job than ones with families, so he outlawed young men from getting married. St. Valentine, he performed a bunch of low-key weddings and shit. Yeah, it's romantic, but then he got his head cut off because he was doing all this under the emperor's nose, and that did not end well for him. Here's the even sexier theory of where it came from pagan times. Bitches used to cut the skin off of dogs and soak them in blood, and then they'd go around slapping women with them in hopes that it would make them more fertile, and the women were loving it. They were like, yes, slap me with the dog pelts that are soaked in blood. It's gonna make me have so many babies. And then after that process was done, all the women put their names in a giant bucket, and then the men would just draw a name out of the bucket, and they would be like, well, I guess this is who I'm hooking up with this year. And don't be mistaken that they got married. It's just a hookup, buddy. That's who their FWB was for that year. It was just all said and done after that. So that's also the cute little romantic story involving dead puppies and basic sex work.
You may say that Valentine's Day is the day to show your Valentine you love them and to make them feel special, but why should we limit this to just focus on one day? You should make your Valentine feel like a Valentine every day.
Alright, I have some questions about Valentine's Day. So, Joe, if this holiday is not important, does that mean that other holidays are not important?
Girl, every other holiday has a reason for happening. We got Easter because of religious shit that happened. Same with Christmas. Independence Day because people had fought and shit. We have reasons for everything to happen that we know about. And as I've already said, nobody really knows the origins of Valentine's Day. It's still pretty widely disputed of what actually even started it. And, yeah, you shouldn't be doing something if you don't know why you're doing it.
True? Okay. Next question. Well, I believe Christmas is a discriminatory holiday as well. What do you have to say about that?
There are alternative holidays to Christmas if you don't happen to be a Christian / choose to participate in that one. We got Hanukkah, we got Kwanzaa, we got just the holidays in general. They even had this big to-do at Target where there was an ornament that was like, happy whatever doesn't offend you, because people are always getting butthurt about stuff like that. But guess what? I don't see a happy Singles Day. There's no other alternative holiday for people who aren't in some sort of happy, lovey-dovey relationship, and that ain't true.
Next question. Now, I believe that there are other avenues of love besides romantic love that you can celebrate on Valentine's Day. What do you have to say about that?
If you're referring to types of love like motherly love or fatherly love, guess what? They have their own holiday. Go celebrate it on those days. You ain't got to spend them on this one too. I kind of think it's weird about parents giving Valentine's Day. Honestly, maybe that I'm just bitter because my parents don't give me anything, but that's for like your significant other if you are so lucky to have one. And you can give something to your mother on Mother's Day. You can give something to your father on Father's Day, and they already give you stuff, so you don't even need anything from them on Valentine's Day if you ask me.
Next question. Now, what if Valentine's Day is just an excuse to splurge? Shouldn't we take advantage of that?
You can splurge on another day when not every other single person on earth is trying to splurge. It's going to be that much more special. Your significant other is going to appreciate it so much more that you came up with this original date idea all on your own, and it wasn't prompted by some sort of capitalist involvement in the holiday tradition.